Today I'd like to give a few tips, pointers, and hints on using the SunOven more effectively. Most people are familiar with the SunOven already. It's the #1 solar cooker in the world for a reason. But just a few tips and ideas on here, especially when you first set this up. Some people complain or mention a little bit of a smell or a flavor that comes with the SunOven when you first get it. That's the new manufacturer smell that you get in there. So best thing to do is put one of your pots with some water in there and 2-3 tablespoons of vinegar in there. Let it steam and boil in there for about 3-4 hours or longer. And then take a cloth, dip it in the water using some tongs, and just wipe out the interior of your oven a few times in there. And if you have to do it a couple other times, you know, as you use the cooker, do that. And it helps to reduce that smell or get rid of it. Some people use vinegar, some people use baking soda. And I've had some people also mention about using pure vanilla extract in the water and then boiling it, letting it bubble and steam in there, and then wiping it out afterward. A couple of other things when you're cooking, when you are using it on a regular basis, about every 6 to 10 times that you cook, it's a good thing to clean out the oven, wipe it out, wash it out, doing the same steaming in there and using water, so you can wipe out and clean out the accumulated smells and moisture that accumulate over time in there. It just helps to keep the flavors out of there. You know, you don't want a bacon smelling or flavored cake the next day because you didn't do that. Another thing about here too, I've noticed also, the wood on here sometimes can crack, and the window that's mounted into the wood can sometimes pull out of there, the screws. So it's a good thing to keep your wood oiled down with wood oil every about once a month and that, to keep it soft. But if they happen to crack and pull out the window that's mounted right down into the wood frame there, you can fill it in with pieces of wood, matchsticks, or toothpicks, and use wood glue in there. Stuff those down in there, seal it up, and let it dry overnight. Then you can use your screwdriver and screw those screws right back into it just like it was new. Because every once in a while you will get some splitting with the wood. That's just the nature of wood there. Another thing on the SunOven also, this is a great oven, as well as the others, to be used as a hot box. Once you've finished cooking with the SunOven, you can close the panels down, keep your food in there, and it'll keep it warm, or hot actually, for the next 2 to 3 hours until you're ready to eat. In fact, it'll even continue cooking for up to an hour, hour and a half afterward because of the heat that's trapped inside there. The ovens are very well insulated. Bracing this cooker for the wind. A lot of people complain about wind in some areas. I've found that the best thing to do with a SunOven is take it and brace it on both sides with a couple of bricks on each side, and that helps keep it from tipping over when you get really strong winds. If you get winds over 45 miles an hour sustained, you're probably calling it a day anyways. It's time to put it up. Dark cookware tips and hints in here. Some people say these cookers don't toast or brown. I found that if you use lids over a lot of your items, you can brown and toast your things like lasagnas and your enchiladas. I've used it over pizzas, where I put just a dark cookie tray over a pizza tray with my pizza in it, and it'll toast the top of the pizzas rather than bleach the cheese out like it sometimes does. So if you want toasted and brown looking items, try to place lids over them, or other pans that form a lid that are dark, and it'll radiate the heat right onto the food, and it gives it a nice toasted look to it. Another tip with this also is the back side of this oven can be laid down on the ground to give you an even steeper wintertime angle. Most people know about the leveling angle that the SunOven has because of the leveling leg on the back, but even in the middle of the winter, that's sometimes not enough, that steep angle there. And so you can actually turn your SunOven upside down. You have to brace your reflector panels with the little screw up front. You have to pull out the you need to pull out the leveling tray in there as well. Just pull that out, seal your window around there, and you can actually turn the SunOven upside down and lay it on its back side there. And you've got almost a 90-degree angle there, which will allow that wintertime sun, that very southern wintertime sun, to get the rays of the sun right into the SunOven that way. So that's just a little tip or a suggestion for using your SunOven a little differently there. And also the last thing here, I've found that with most of your solar ovens, they're great for proofing bread. And so if you've got bread that's rising and that, and you need to proof it even quicker, stick it inside of your oven with the door propped, and it's warm enough inside of there that it'll proof your bread. And then you can pull it out and let the oven heat up about 10 more minutes, and then throw your bread in there and cook it. One thing with cooking bread in these two, don't let your bread proof and raise near as much as you normally do with a standard traditional cooking oven and that, because if you do, then you get bread that's really raised up high. I've had some loaves of bread come out that high, literally, in that, because they proof quite a bit more in the solar oven.